Alright, so this is, as you can see, is already going to be one of those reviews where I just don't have the depth I need here to get this done. Well, I mean, I can get it done, but it's gonna take some creativity here on my part. This is the video review for VOLTRON, Defender of the Universe, Black Lion, and Keith. And there's the white shipper box, as you can see. You can see it's bare. It comes right up to the top of my usual backdrop, and we're gonna blow that backdrop out of the water today. Just watch. So there's the standard white shipping box off here. We'll move that off to the side. And what you come with, like I said, blowing it out of the water. And inside that shipping box, you get Black Lion himself, again, in a massive packaging, far bigger than the previous Lions. There's a neat little diorama of the castle itself in the background, as well as Keith in his packaging. So, just real quick, we'll go ahead and get everybody out of their packaging and pop that off. Keith, as per all the other previous pilots, comes with his, come here you, his unhelmeted head, and his helmeted head. Which, again, you swap out just by brutally ripping Keith's mullet off and popping on the helmet. Come on. There we go. Well, there's Keith, all ready to go to pilot Black Lion. And in the set, you also get, let me get this out of here, the Black Lion key to let him in, as well as the final tip piece for the blazing sword, as well as, and you also get the more pieces to the stand here, which I've explained before. Like, the stand is nothing new. You get more stand pieces in the Black Lion as well, but I covered that in my, what was the last one that came out? Blue Lion? My Blue Lion review. The stand looks neat. I don't know how you're going to use it and still be able to, you know, once you put the sword in, snap it all together, it's almost impossible to unsnap without just breaking. So if you know you want to permanently display your sword, great. I just have not felt the urge to do it because I don't want to deal with the hassle of getting it back out of the stand. But it's there if you want, because you do get an extra sword, and we'll get into that in a minute. Let's go ahead and get Black Lion. We're just going to lift him out here of the package. His tail does like that. It's just a little snap-on tail, and it doesn't stay in very well. And it looks like, that peg is smaller on one side. It's only sticking out. That may be part of the reason it's not staying in very well. You stay together right now. We'll deal with you in a minute, Lion. So yeah. Anyway, here's the box. Empty. And just one note, here, let me see if I can get this. When you open him, you're going to want to pull this whole thing out, the whole insert, because there's the instructions there in the back you can see. I guess you can't. But the whole bottom of this insert here, you want to open up one of these ends of this insert, because underneath here in the packaging is where there's a non-blazing version of the sword to put together, as well as his shield pieces are all hiding there under the underneath in here. So you want to make sure to open that up and get those out. So back to Keith and Black Lion. Let's get them all standing up here. Now, size comparison-wise to the previous Lions, you should have seen that in the intro. I just can't get them all on camera here easily. So there's Black Lion. This is really going to be interesting here. Maybe if I do a different angle, we can get a little bit more Black Lion in here. There we go. That's a little bit better. I'll turn him around. So here's Black Lion. He is the centerpiece of the Voltron force with Keith. He doesn't have a whole lot of features in Lion mode. He does have a spring-loaded jaw, so you can make him chomp. He does come with the mouth weapon like all the others, if you want to have him do that. And again, you can use Keith's Black Lion key to unplug the canopy up here, which is this entire back piece. And there's the cockpit inside there with some stickers. I know people aren't real big on the stickers, but that's just how it is. And you can take Keith and set him down there inside Black Lion. You want to kind of split his legs a little bit. They need to go off to the sides to get him in there far enough to close the cockpit. There we go. Close that up, and there's Black Lion ready to go. Some of this is a little repetitive. I'm glossing over some stuff just because, again, this is the fifth lion we've reviewed here, so at this point it should be pretty standard fare of what each lion does. And really, I mean, like, that's it. You've got the posability of the snappy legs. You can see where all it connects. The tail has a little bit of posability in it. It's got a couple of different joints in it. And that's really all there is to Black Lion. He's big, he's black, he's a lion. At least in lion mode. We'll get into what we want to in just a minute. He does come with a shield, and it comes with a separate handle. You have to snap the handle on, just like the sword. Now the shield is a pliable rubber. It's not nearly as soft as I expected it to be after seeing some reviews. I don't have a problem with it. One, it keeps it a little lightweight, which it really kind of needs to be, and I'll show some of that off here in a minute. And you know, it would be nice if it were hard plastic. I don't know what made them decide this versus a harder plastic like the handle itself. But it is what it is. And personally, like, it's not ruining the figure for me. I don't know how often he even used the shield in the old cartoon. I don't remember it being that often. The sword was more important. They included it, which is nice. And honestly, I just don't have any problems with it. It's a shield. He can hold it. It looks cool when he's holding it. End of story, as far as I'm concerned. You also get, you have to snap on the blade into the handle here, as well as snap this pommel guard on to the sword. But you get a non-blazing version of the sword. And what's neat about this is this actually is entirely new mold for this, because every part about it is, you can see it's the blade is thinner just because it doesn't have the blazing stuff in it, but even the handle is a thinner piece. The pommel is slightly thinner. The pommel might actually be the same looking at it. You can't tell. I mean, it was just this guard right here. We can see every other part of it is a much thinner piece. So same size without the flames, but much thinner and lighter, which again is going to be important come combination time. And speaking of which, let's go ahead and take care of that. So you transform all the lions to their limb modes, and we'll go ahead and get Blue Lion up here. And this is where I'm going to start. There's some stuff on these guys that I really didn't complain about originally that I have suddenly found a reason to complain about. Mostly the spring gimmicks. Because before, when I was playing with these individually, the spring gimmicks did not bother me on the lions. When I'm trying to combine them to VOLTRON, it's been a bit of a pain in the butt. Now, here, like these heel pieces, again, I was really happy to see these. I love the way they folded up. I love the way they fold down to support him, VOLTRON standing. I'm less thrilled about them now, and again, we'll cover that in just a minute. So, here we go. This is going to get big. There's Blue Lion. Here comes Yellow Lion here. And the Yellow Lion's already wanting to pop the legs out the minute you breathe out. And I don't remember, it's been displayed on my shelf for months with no issues, and now suddenly when I want to combine them as VOLTRON, we're getting some pain in the butt. So yeah, we'll go ahead and get Red Lion. I'm not gonna, like I said, I'm kind of skimming over it because we've seen all the transformations in my previous videos, and now I'm just trying to get it done so we can show off the massively awesome VOLTRON. So there we go. There's Red Lion, and we'll do the same for Green Lion. And clickety click click click. Clicks in the background. And there we go. Now for Black Lion here. Let's get him back in frame. Let's pull the camera back even further. There we go. We'll kind of do it like this. You want to fold the tail up. I don't know, the tail does not like to stay on for whatever reason. So you fold the tail up like this. I wish that stayed on a little better. But you straighten the back legs out. You fold the feet down and back up and around to the back like this, which is going to pop this little square thing here. And you bring this down, and there's a little arrow kind of marked into the notch here, and there's a little notch right here. Basically, you want to line this vertical thing up with this notch right here. That's the proper configuration to combine as VOLTRON. Same thing on the other side. Flip it around and line up that notch with the. See if we can get a better look at it here. So you can see the arrow should point to the notch there. And come up top. The legs up. Keep doing that. You fold them like you want to fold the paw. Take the paw, fold it all the way back against the leg like this. Fold the leg up like this. And this is important. Before you do anything else, you want to rotate this piece all the way around to the back here, and then once that's done, take this entire leg assembly and push it down so that this little tab right here goes up here into the slot and locks into place. That's part of the release for when you push the button to spring them back to lion. Also, you want these to be down to make sure there's room for the wings, which we'll show in a minute. And you want to do the same thing over here. Bring the paw down like that. Rotate this around first to the back, because again, there's a gimmick in the middle there. The spring release triggers halfway through. And then push this down and push that down. And that's locked in place. Now the wings come down here, flip up. Actually, you want to rotate them around so the white's facing up. Oh, okay, there's white on both sides, so I guess it doesn't matter. No, it does matter because, yeah. So yeah, and then you fold them down. There's actually a groove here on the leg for them. So you flip these up and fold them down so they fit into the groove here. And then, now that we've got that, and then you fold the tail up. So let's go ahead and bring it on up here. So you take these, there's these little flaps right here on the legs, and you just plug it in until it snaps on both legs, which also has just fired off Blue Lion's legs here. I don't know why that did that. And snap it up. Alright, so we're coming together here. Then come up even higher. Can we get it that high? Oh man. Extend the tripod legs here. There we go. Rearrange the tripod to get it up even higher here to the, you can see just how, you see, again, we're way over the top of the backdrop now. And then the arms just snap in like that. Red Lion's leg. And you want to make sure they do snap in all the way. There's a couple little pegs in there that. There we go. See, the legs are going off there like crazy. And then here's the cool part of the gimmick: is once you have it all assembled, you'll form feet and legs, form arms and body, and you push this button right here to form the head. It just flips down. Spring-loaded. Pop it back up, fold the ears in, and then you just push this button right here again, and the head folds down, and that's pretty cool. Now here he is, fully completed. He's very big. Just for a size comparison here, here he is with steel core. Very, very massive. And for random factors, I already showed him online, but there he is with a standard can of soda. Let's see if we can get the whole thing in here. Yeah, he's very big. He does come up, Fort Max actually comes up to about right here on him, to the top of the head. and then the wings are up even a little higher. But the top of Fort Max's head sits about right here in comparison to him. So he's very, very large. Now let's see if I can set up this camera all the way over here. Here at work, you can kind of see. Yeah, hey, look at that. Hopefully the camera will not fall. Let's shrink this tripod leg just a little bit, get that sturdy. Because here's my problem with this. And hit a button there while I was adjusting the camera. Right now he's sturdy, but if you take one of these swords here and put it in the, if you start to move his hand forward at all, he starts to get a little. Like, that's the problem. He gets front heavy. He starts to lean like this. Like we try to put one of the blazing sword in his hand, especially the blazing version. The blazing version is much heavier than the non-blazing version. So if you put this in his hand and try to have him stand, he likes to fall forward. And there are ways you can find ways to get him to stand. Get a little support out there. Tilt him back a little bit here. Again, the legs keep popping loose. You can get him to stand with his weapons in hand. And again, the shield has a peg on the inside of it, right here, that can peg into Green Lion's hand. If you want Red Lion to hold it, all you have to do is flip it over, because the peg doesn't rotate. So you can plug it in like that and have him hold the shield over here in Red Lion's hand. But so he's got some pretty decent posability for such a giant guy. The posability isn't the problem; it's the stability in the legs. But there he is with his shield as well. Like I said, it's really pretty cool. And just massive. He's just huge. It's just if he were just a little bit more stable, and if the legs were a little bit more, I mean by legs I mean the lion legs, were a little less prone to popping out. Because like I said, I had no problem with the legs popping out, having them stored in various modes. I had them in leg mode just for space for a while. I have not had an issue with the legs popping out on their own all summer, but something about supporting the weight and the way they sit, and honestly the way the feet sit, there's a little bit of give in the heads down there on the toes, so he leans forward a little bit. There's a little bit of lean there in the waist, which lets him lean forward a little bit, and again, when he's holding the weapons, and even when he's not holding the weapons, for some reason he's a lot more front heavy. He tends to want to fall this way. So those really cool, what I was praising them for, of having those heel flaps to fit down, that I thought were going to be great support for a giant robot, because when you get big robots like this, you want to make sure that they can stand up. I thought those were going to be really effective and really cool and a neat little addition, and it turns out they're practically useless, because unless you have him leaning backwards, he's not putting any of his weight back there. So I don't know. But all in all, like, I'm not disappointed with the overall purchase. He's huge. He's awesome. I watched Voltron all the time when I was a kid. He really is quite cool, and I'm very happy to have him. Totally worth the subscription. I didn't have to fight anybody for him on sale day. I'm very impressed. He looks really cool. He's probably going to get displayed in my room in 5 lion mode, just because he's so big, and I just don't know where I have a shelf presence for him all combined. Although I may have to find one, because, like I said, flaws aside, the coolness of it far outweighs the flaws, far outweighs any minor complaints I have about him. He looks awesome and big, and he's just really, really cool. I really am glad I got him. It's, like I said, it's just some stability issues, and like I said, it is totally possible to get him to stand. He's doing it right now. It's just really fiddly, and it can get frustrating, especially if those, because like you may not be able to tell right now, but like Yellow Lion's inner leg is popped out. It is right now trying to push itself forward. So there it is. It's mildly annoying, but one of those things that I'm willing to live with, because if I get in there and I close that leg up and don't mess with him, he's going to be fine. It really depends on how much you want to play with him versus display him, and he makes an awesome display. And he's fun to play with. The individual lions are a lot of fun. I'm kind of ranty because now I'm just sitting here looking at him, and he's just so big and wow, and just the presence in the room. Like if you have this is going to be what people notice when they walk in if you have it on display anywhere. Like he is impressive, and suitably so. And now I'm just repeating myself. But there he is, the Mattel Collector Black Lion. There he is, all combined as Voltron. I definitely approve. If you want to hunt him down now, like I said, I find him awesome for being subscribed and getting him for the retail price every month. I know Black Lion sold out. I think all the Lions have sold out through Matty Collector. And I know some of them are going pretty expensive on eBay. I don't know what Black Lion's going for. I haven't checked. I had my own on the way. So I do not know what a completed set of all 5 will run you on eBay. I imagine it's probably scary. but it might not be. I know some of the Masters figures sell out, but then they go for about $10 more than usual. I don't know what the Lions are going for. If you find a cheap set or find them for a decent price, totally get them, because they really are cool. But there you go, Mattel Collector, Black Lion with Keith, and the final Club Voltron finished figure, Voltron.